On May 16th this year, the British Music Hall Society are having a special day to commemorate their patron, the late Roy Hudd, and they're using it to ask people to make contributions to the great tradition of music hall and variety. I'm reminded that Ireland too had a great music hall variety history. Jimmy O'Dea, Maureen Potter, the great theatres of the Olympia and the Gaiety, Christmas concerts, variety throughout the year. And of course, they were big names, Maureen Potter and Jimmy O'Dea, when television started first in Ireland. There was variety in theatres throughout Ireland, but Dublin seemed to kind of master in it. Conor Doyle over there in Dublin has all the memorabilia of his uncle, Jimmy O'Dea, who was married to Ursula Doyle, his aunt. So as a kind of contribution and recognition of the great British music hall and the Irish music hall, I want to make this contribution. I call it a gem. It's a story about an older couple sitting on a park bench in Stephen's Green. Mary turns and says, "Do you remember, Jem, when we first stepped out? You had a pinstripe suit, but you wouldn't open your mouth. But you looked lovely. You looked grand, except your shirt was always hanging out. Do you remember, Jem?" "Do I remember? Will I ever forget?" And the day picking winkles on Dollymount Strand, the tide came in, nearly drowned our gran. We had to push her home in a 3-wheel pram. "Do you remember, Jem?" "Do I remember? Will I ever forget?" Oh, the day you took me to the Phoenix Park to look at the deer and sit on the grass. And you asked me for a kiss, but I wouldn't give in because I knew it was a mortal sin. And then you said you loved me. Do you remember, Jem? Do I remember? Will I ever forget? And the hoolie in the house on St. Stephen's is nice. You met all the relations, but nothing went right. Everyone thought you were my little brother Stan, but he's bigger, and he never ever got sick all over Gran. Do you remember, Jem? Do I remember? Will I ever forget? And then the day you changed me name, you couldn't find the ring, and Gran started praying. She put her hands in your waistcoat and she poked about. She put her hands in your trousers and they fell down in the middle of the church. Oh, do you remember, Jem? Do I remember? Will I ever forget? And the singing and dancing back at the house. Come to think of it now, you were as quiet as a mouse. You shouldn't have put that whiskey in Gran's bottle of stout. We thought she was dead when we found her lying in the wedding bed. Do you remember, Jem? Do I remember? Will I ever forget? Well, 40 years now we've been mucking about. I'm much the same, and sure you haven't changed, except me teeth's not me own, and you've got gout. But still, you look lovely, you look grand, even if your shirt is still hanging out. Do you remember, Jem? Do I remember? Will I ever forget? Dublin, Noel Purcell. Dublin can be heaven with coffee at 11 and a stroll down Stephen's Green. There's no need to hurry. There's no need to worry, you're a king, and the lady's a queen, God bless her. Grafton Street's a wonderland, there's magic in the air, there's diamonds in the lady's eyes and gold dust in her hair. And if you don't believe me, come and meet me there in Dublin on a sunny summer's morning.